like to hear from you out there on 41 years of abortion in this country. There are 5 million people aborted a year, roughly, worldwide. 55 million of them here in the United States since 1973. And what we're seeing is an abortion of the human species itself by the ruling class, by the establishment. They have made the decision to abort humanity as we know it. And I'm going to be breaking that down coming up here in just a moment. And I'd like to hear from you on that subject, on the subject of the technocracy. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. Will you guys bring me in the print-off of Teddy Roosevelt's The Man in the Arena? Thank you. Because I'm going to read that on air here in just a moment. But again, according to the WHO, every year in the world, there are an estimated 40 to 50 million abortions. Excuse me, I was saying 5 million from a factoid mess up there. This corresponds to approximately 125,000 abortions per day. And this should certainly be discussed. This is something that even if you're for it, we should have a societal discussion about the future of humanity and where everything is going. Simply incredible. And it ties into a whole host of other issues that I'm going to be covering here in just a moment. But I wanted to give you the quote by Teddy Roosevelt, the man in the arena, speech at the Paris, France, April 23rd, 1910. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement. And at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. And that certainly says it all. Now, I want to talk about this subject. It's a subject we discuss a lot, but I really want to focus in on it before we go to your phone calls at 800-259-9231 today. And I want to just go over a stack of news that I have here today. Going through the stacks of news, here's a constellation of articles that all tie together. One of them is from CNS News. Record 20% of households on food stamps in 2013. And, of course, you've really got 37+% unemployment. That's in the news today. That's what economists are saying and breaking down. And soon we'll be like Spain, 50+%. That's the globalist goal. And I'm going to tie this together here in a moment, because this is what they've all said in their own books, publications, white papers. We've read the quotes here. But you've really got to grasp, this isn't a pipe dream. They're doing this on purpose, and they believe they're going to build a better world on the other side of it. And I think you should know about this, and I think you should research it and discover it's true for yourself, and that it's now not some faraway situation, that things are going to start rolling out faster and faster and faster. Now, this article ties into this next one right here. This is out of the London Telegraph. U.S. Army considers replacing thousands of troops with robots. That itself is done in total psyop. They decided decades ago that by this time they would be beginning to phase out ground troops and phase out piloted even by remote access by humans, drones. And the reports vary, but by 2020, they want all aircraft, except for troop carriers, to be autonomous, drone-operated, pre-programmed with a battle algorithm and run by a supercomputer that will direct it and make decisions. So this is beyond Skynet. And if you go back to the 70s, and this was in my book, 9/11 Descent into Tyranny, we actually show declassified Pentagon documents from 1991 calling it Skynet. See, the Terminator movie, folks, this isn't life imitating art in the Terminator franchise from 1986, 1982, whatever year it came out. Maybe it was 84. Let's look up James Cameron's when that came out, just as a factoid. This is art imitating life. And I told you I talked to a Marine Corps colonel and others off record years ago, and they said, look, they're going to phase out humans entirely. 1984. My third guess was correct. Well, I mean, I knew it was 84. I had to place the memory. The point is that this is real. This is real. By 2020, no aircraft piloted by humans. All the new aircraft being made will be autonomous. You'll still have some of the old aircraft and still have humans on some of them, but all the new aircraft will not be involved with humans at all. And they will have basically, I told you, because after I was given this info and it was still classified, I went and looked it up and found a lot of it, pieces here, pieces there. Basically, you're going to have in cities just 18-wheelers waiting everywhere, full of spy robots, crowd control robots, killer robots. I mean, stuff that's got big spider legs, Gatling guns, nerve gas, tear gas. It'll pull up, it'll deploy 100 little drones that are all super inexpensive, but they can be weaponized as well. They'll fly into your house. This isn't Minority Report. This is here now. And they're going to milk all the cities and counties for millions and millions of dollars for these robots, you know, in the name of the bomb disposal squad and other just made-up stuff. I mean, even if bombings were real, statistically, you know, it's thousands of times less dangerous than your car. I mean, it's just all an excuse to take over society. The bomb disposal teams are a front for the total martial law rollout, and we got secret documents on video on the side of the highway from an FBI agent because he gave us the wrong documents at a checkpoint in 1998 in Belton, Texas, south of Waco. Mike Hansen was driving back from visiting family and saw an Army checkpoint and pulled over, and the police came over and just couldn't believe what was going on and said, how dare you even try to videotape this? And then the FBI showed up, and the FBI agent said, here's what's going on. You've got your press release. Now get out of here. And it said restricted on it, and was the whole takeover plan. I don't know what happened there. Was that on purpose, or what, I mean, what is it? Those documents are on Infowars.com, scanned in. It's also in my film, The Takeover. We have screenshots of those documents. How the military is operating in every city. They're doing warrant service. They're merged with the police already. It's totally illegal, but it was done a long time ago covertly. It was done pre-9/11. And I've interviewed Marine Corps captains who went on in the private sector and owned companies, computer companies, who've we've interviewed and gave us a lot of intel that turned out to all be accurate, and photos as well, where they were in the 80s SWAT teaming gun shops, Marines in plain clothes, in basically unmarked police uniforms, raid jackets. So it's a long-term program. The country's already gone. I mean, let's just be honest about that. We've already been overrun by criminals, and they've got a takeover plan. And it doesn't include us in it. So let me just try to go over these headlines again. Record 20% of households on food stamps in 2013. Real unemployment's over 37%. Let's go to the next one. U.S. Army considers replacing thousands of troops with robots. The U.S. Army is studying whether robots could take the place of thousands of soldiers. And they say starting in just a couple years, that's why they're legalizing Google cars everywhere. This is an overwrite, a wiping of the disc, getting rid of humans. This is an abortion of humanity that, oh, at first the convoys now will be led by humans in the front and back. Just like I told you, in the future, you'll go on a 777 or an Airbus or whatever the aircraft is. You go on a Boeing 777 or go on a big Airbus, and you'll have a captain that's ceremonial and is there, but it's all remote control. It basically already is. And then they will then go in and basically say hi to the passengers and make you feel important. So the captain's going to be completely ceremonial. That's why pilots went public a month ago and said, we're having more crashes because pilots don't know how to fly anymore because they're letting the preset remote control run everything. So it's kind of like, you know, people knew how to add and subtract 20 years ago. I know I did. I didn't carry a calculator around with me, so I'd do it in my head or on paper. But now with an iPhone, I mean, it's literally made me stupid. And they admit it does. And the way I use it to look up data, it's made me smarter in some ways. The general public's not looking up factoids and info and tracking news with a handheld computer. They're being completely sucked into it, and it's directing their lives. So how does all this tie together? Record 20% of households on food stamps in 2013. U.S. Army considers replacing thousands of troops. And they go on and have quotes in here where the generals are saying they're going to have autonomous, robots driving the cars and fighting the wars, and that they're phasing it in. And there's no discussion even of, well, this allows centralized groups to have total control of a technocracy that ties into all the smart meters, all the smartphones. Imagine if Skynet wanted to take over. It wouldn't do it with big Terminator robots that come marching down the road. It would get rid of your jobs first. It would put computers in charge of all the mining, all the manufacturing first. It would dumb the public down. It would put chemicals in the water, chemicals in the food, biologicals in the food. It would slowly reduce humans down, isolate them, make it where humans are dependent on the centralized automated system that can then social engineer, because humans won't even know how to take care of themselves, and humans will accept the orderly extermination of the majority because it's going to be done in again, a concentric ring, incrementalism out from the third world into the first world with stage crises, biological releases, wars, you name it, with people giving up more liberty in the name of security when actually it's a rope tightening around our collective necks, with the goal of reducing us down absolutely. And top globalists, you know, the public numbers are going to kill 80% incrementally. Phase us out. That's because the 20% running it think they're going to be part of it. But you get higher level literature, it's 90%. And then you get up to the highest level literature, and they just go, you know, humans are bad and a parasite. The universe would be better if there was none of us. So a select elite are going to merge with machines and blast off and you know, we'll colonize space. And that's basically the party orthodox doctrine of the globalists. There's different doctrines, but that's the main church. And that's their canon. That's their canons of law and systems. And I mean, that's it. This is not my opinion. You're hearing absolute watered down truth here. And because by watered down, I cannot describe to you the evil of this studying it. You've got to go research this yourself. I mean, you've got to go look into this yourself, because I can hardly talk when I start really thinking about the fact that I'm living in all this. And I'm a man. I want to live. I want to go out and eat a steak. I want to go out and see a movie and laugh. I want to go fishing. I want love. I want passion. I want to have more kids. I want to be prosperous. But truly, the world as we know it is not going to exist, and they're going to kill everybody. Almost everyone listening to this, if they have their way, you're dead. Just like the 55 million babies. And the 40 to 50 million abortions. You know, this is just humans. Don't even have the number down. You know, and we know all the baseball scores. We know all the soccer scores worldwide, but we don't know that it was 47,298,000 humans or whatever. Now, we just, yeah, give or take 10 million. And yeah, it's 1.5 to 2 billion. You know, we're not sure how many have been killed in the last 50 years. It's billions. Yeah, it's just billions. And you got an attitude, yeah, there's people everywhere. There's too many of us. It's billions. You know, who cares? And the point is, they're setting up a world where we don't exist, and there's a revolution. But if you could punch up my computer, here's the Daily Mail. And they've got RoboCop ads, monster ads is what they call them, on both sides of the computer. about RoboCop and how cool it is. But then right in front of it, it says, is 2014 the year your job will be taken by a robot? Job apocalypse. Set to strike as droids are trained to flip burgers, pour drinks, and even look after our children. And here's the deal. You as a decision, you're going to figure this out later when it's probably too late. But you don't want to go in a bar where a robot's serving you. You don't want to go into a restaurant where there's no humans and you pick what you want and there's not even a waitress. You don't want to give support to any of this. Do you understand? In fact, I've envisioned the symbol of the resistance is like a caution sign with a human with a club, a man with a club with his wife and his children behind him, smashing a robot in. That is the symbol of the future, if we even have a chance against this with God's help, okay? It's not that I'm against technology. It's that it's being developed and deployed, weaponized, and autonomous against us. With Skynet, in the Pentagon's own words, this is from the 70s, folks. The year I was born was when this report was written, 1974, another report in 77. Skynet wired into everything with smart dust and RFID and everything, with all your appliances, your cars, everything run by it, everything actuaried. Agenda 21 to shut down all parts of the economy they don't control, people totally under globalist control, and you will take all the inoculations, you will take the sterilization, so half your neighbors are dying of cancer. All you know is if you don't take, the vaccine food rations they give you, that you won't get any more food. And then if you resist, they'll send by a robot SWAT team to kill you. And your neighbors aren't going to say anything, folks, because if you say anything about this in the future, it's going to be called sedition, thought crime. And, oh, the system's breaking down because all these people are fighting it. And look, Mega City 9 just went down with the humans rioting. We're sending in the Liberator Force to defend. Autonomous forces are taking out the humans. And I'm telling you, it's all coming. Man against machine, total war.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.
By the way, they always say that this job apocalypse is going to happen over the next few decades. No, it's going to happen in the next 5 years. The first big phases of it. Because they've learned psychologically, they always put it off into the future. Oh, in 2050, the military is going to have autonomous drones. They had autonomous drones 15, 20 years ago. Now they've got completely autonomous ones with names like Tyrannus. The British have got them. They've all got them. And so all these countries are racing to build it, but it's all been standardized. It all has back doors built by the technocrats, whether it's made in China, whether it's made in Thailand, whether it's made in Singapore, whether it's made in Austin, Texas, or whether it's made in the areas of the central areas of California. It's all globally standardized, and it's the Ring of Sauron. All these lesser rings are given to everyone. The iPhones, the smart washing machines that you can turn on when you're away. And everybody thinks, oh, it's great, the smart meter. I can control my house from a distance. Yeah, and it can control what you do and track what you do and double charge you and all this other stuff. Bad people animate this. So there's the one ring that controls all the others. And we're all taking our own personal rings. Sauron is giving out billions of rings. And it's an incredible system. And there's good in the system as well. But that can be turned off at any time, this broadcast. Infowars.com. All of it is to be actuaried out, phased out, assimilated. I mean, the system doesn't care if you don't sell out. They just keep coming at you and coming at you and coming at you so nicely, so lovingly, wanting to be your friend, wanting to help you, wanting to give you everything you need. Make it so easy because they've already sold out. They've already given into the spirit. It's a spirit. It's an idea. It's a mindset. And it is the end of humanity. And it is an abortion of humanity. And before they fully abort us, they're going to mutate us and make us ugly. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy so that we accept our destruction. We have to accept our destruction and give up the life force, give up the animating contest so that we don't have the will to fight. When we raise our children, when we do the right thing, when we stay out of the system, we don't have the will and we just give up. And then spiritually, they have the right then to come in and destroy us. Just saying, I resist, I see you, I know who you are, I don't accept you, you are death, you are a fraud, you are a liar, you are a dehumanizer, you are the author of everything ugly, you are a betrayer. Just that decision in your heart sends shockwaves through the enemy spider web. But you have to decide what your prime directive is, what your main function is. Is it having a good time? Is it playing along with the system? Is it believing all this hype about fashion and the rest of it? Which is human, but they've twisted it into a false matrix while the real world around you is a prison being built. They're building the matrix around us. They say, oh, the Pentagon said in the 70s in that same report that I put in my book that the final goal is we will live in hive mind sensory deprivation pods from birth to death. And there'll be no more pain, no more violence, no more war. We'll all just live in pods. The Matrix. You think the Wachowski brothers just came up with all that? I don't know if that's theoretically possible, but that's what the Pentagon said the goal is. Total peace. They're not going to put you in a pod. If they succeed and there's a couple million humans left and you've all done this and worked with the machine takeover, they're not going to stick you in a pod to live forever, okay? They're going to kill you. But it'll be painless when they jack you in. And that's what the Wachowski brothers put in their last movie, where the clones think they're going to go, become free, and they're really just killing them. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, I choose to not be a clone. I choose to not be a biological android. I choose free will, and I choose to resist this genetic overwrite of humanity by the devil himself. I resist it. The InfoWars crew absolutely loves coffee because we love being awake. And I am somewhat of a connoisseur of coffee. So many times you go to a restaurant or even to a coffee shop and the coffee tastes like garbage. And in all the different coffees I've tried, my favorite is grown in the high mountains, in shade, Arabica, on the border with Guatemala in southern Mexico by the Chiapas farmers. I make sure we've done the research. I make sure it's the very best product that we can offer you when I put my name on it. And I believe, and it's my taste, so you may differ, that this is the best coffee in the world from southern Mexico. Wake Up America Patriot Blend, 100% organic, Arabica shade grown. And then we have the Immune Support, 100% organic coffee, infused with a special type of mushroom known to boost the immunity.
This coffee is seriously so smooth. I normally have to douse my coffee with cream and sugar and cinnamon and all kinds of tasty treats, but I drink this black. It is so good.
Well, that's why I like it, is that it has a kick, it has really good caffeine in it, it has a good clean wake up that lasts for a long time, doesn't give me a headache, but it's so smooth, it's so delicious. Just try it out for yourself. I'm telling you, this is my favorite coffee. We went through a lot of trouble to bring you this. Just try it, and I think you'll be hooked like we are here at InfoWars. Well, folks, find out for yourself and support the information war today. It's all available at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. I said I'd take your calls, and I got into the technocracy in the last hour. I'll cover it more, and I've got a lot of other really important news. But we're talking about 41 years of Roe v. Wade. Over 1 billion plus people aborted worldwide, 40 to 50 million a year. And this is just part of the culture to death. And this is going to be done so scientifically, this total takeover of society, to where it is a anesthetized, lobotomized killing field that we live in, where first your mind is destroyed, your intellect is destroyed and hampered, your individualism is destroyed, and you're absorbed into the collective before being annihilated, and then your ashes and carbon dioxide spewed out of a funnel spewed out of a smokestack, and that's all the world will ever know of you existing. Literature destroyed, art destroyed, poetry destroyed, innocence destroyed, everything good pulled down, everything good having its eyeballs gouged out spiritually, its eardrums rammed out, everything drugged through the mud, piled on by wickedness and cowardice. That's the world. That's what Satan's building. And I don't want any part of it.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.